Hi, I'm Rich Brown for CNET. Today we're going to take a look at the Acer Aspire 7600U. So this is a 27-inch touchscreen Windows 8 all-in-one from Acer. It costs $18.99 and it certainly has the appearance of a high-end, slick-looking PC. You can see here it has the familiar edge-to-edge glass and a nice big display. This is a 27-inch screen that's 1920 by 1080 resolution. It's a touchscreen and it's also pretty responsive. Doesn't have some of the drag you get on other touchscreen designs, and in general, we're pretty happy with the way this reacts to our input. At least in terms of our input on the screen. Now, there's actually a gesture recognition feature that comes with this PC, and it doesn't work that well. It's not that responsive. Some of the gestures are kind of confusing, and in general, it's probably best left forgotten. So, although the system has some pretty great looks and actually has some interesting features, overall, it's pretty overpriced. So one of the big downfalls of the system is its resolution. Now Dell has a system that's XPS 127. It's also a 27-inch touchscreen all-in-one. That's kind of a spoiler among the new Windows 8 PCs. That system has a 2560 by 1440 screen resolution for roughly the same price, and it really makes these 19 by 10 screens look kind of inferior. Now another problem with this system is its core features. It has a mobile-grade Core i5 CPU that's really not that fast, particularly for its price. Otherwise, it's pretty well equipped, but again, not enough to justify its high-end price tag. It has 8 gigs of RAM, a terabyte hard drive, although the hard drive is slower. It's a 5400 RPM model. You get 7200 RPM in most other PCs. It also has a GeForce GT 640M graphics chip. Now that chip does give this PC decent gaming capability, but you can certainly find more in other PCs in the same price. So this is not to say the system doesn't have some positives. There's some USB 3 ports on the side here, which is great. SD card input, a couple analog audio jacks, nothing too surprising there. But if you look on the back, you'll see a nice clean design as well as a series of ports that really give the system some nice multimedia flexibility. And there's a couple more USB ports on the back as well as an Ethernet input. But there's also 2 HDMI inputs as well as an HDMI output. That lets you connect all kinds of external devices to this PC to use as a secondary display. And with the HDMI out, you can actually connect another monitor to the system and expand your display space. That really makes it pretty flexible. Now you might also be drawn to its design. You can see it has a pretty clean lined front here, with this transparent chin, if you will. It's not maybe for everybody, but it's certainly not terrible. The one downside is these 3 branding stickers here. Now other Windows 8 all-in-ones have gotten rid of those and moved them to other places that are not quite so obvious. Now along with other big screen touch all-in-ones, there is sort of the temptation to want to use the system without walking up to it and sitting down in front of it to use the keyboard and mouse. So to facilitate that, Acer has made a pretty decent stand on the back here. So it's a glossy plastic design, and you can see it has the power cable going right into the bottom here. That's kind of interesting, but not really that functionally important. But what's nice about the stand is how easily adjustable it is. Now you definitely need some desktop clearance in order to really use it, but you can see it drops down and comes back up with very little hassle. So you might have heard that Acer is trying to revamp its image as sort of a bargain basement PC vendor, and this system is pretty good evidence that it's starting to pay attention to design and really make a nice looking computer. But while it might hit some of the right aesthetic notes, overall the system doesn't have enough value to justify its price. So I'm Rich Brown. This is the Acer Aspire 7600U.